All right. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us today for adding and managing your listings here at connectMLS. My name is John Roy, and I'm one of the trainers here. I also on the phones, so you may have spoke with me before, or you may speak with me coming up in the future. So, welcome to our training here. We're going to get started right away. We're going to try to get you out before the top of the hour. So we'll get started right here. I appreciate everybody getting here on time and giving us, spending this time with us. I know we're getting in that busy spring season, so it's much appreciated here on our side. Really quick before we start is if you do have any questions, please put it in the chat. If it's on topic and I see it right away, I'll jump on it right then and there and answer it for you. If not, I can stay after we're finished if you want to go over a few more questions and things of that nature that's on topic here. We could certainly do that for you. So let's get started. All right. So we're going to start off with adding a new listing. And I will say that I am in a training environment. So the listing that we're going to go over right now, we're not going to make active. I'm just going to kind of show you some highlights and things that we want to point out for you. And then I have another listing that we're going to go and make active for you. So just kind of give you a heads up on that. So if things look a little different for you. So what we're going to do first is come up to our friend Add Edit there up in the upper left blue menu bar. And if you hover on it, you see the whole list comes down. We're going to go right to Add New and click on Add New. And it'll say pre-existing drafts. So if you have any drafts, anything you're working out, that'll pop up. We're not going to work with that right now. We are going to edit a draft later. We're going to do some editing later. So for right now, I'm going to go ahead and click continue. And the first thing we're going to do is select a property type. So if we select a property type, we click the drop down arrow, step one here, and you see all the property types are here, land, business, everything is there. We're going to pick on single family and condo just for our example today. And then we go to step two. How do I want to enter the listing? Step one, it's already pre-filled for you, fill from tax. That's probably about how 90% of your listings are going to be entered into the system. So we're going to demonstrate that one right now. The tax record will go ahead and search for your property and come up with all the tax information for you. Step two, fill from listing and tax, clone plus tax. So that's cloning. So if you've been with us for a while, you'll know all about cloning. It's a big help. If you have a listing and you're going to relist it, or like a rental, a summer rental, you're going to put it back on for this summer, or you're listing, you had it on for a while and it expired, and now you're going to try to list it again here in the spring session. By cloning it, all the tax information will come over, plus all your photos and remarks and anything you put in, like the bedroom has, a chandelier or anything like that. All that information will come over. You'll certainly have a chance to edit it or update photos or anything like that, but you'll get all the tax information, all the information you had last time, all in one shot. And then you just need to, upload new paperwork, of course, check the dates and all that, but check a few things out and then you'll be off and running. So it's a big time saver. That is fill from listing and tax, clone plus tax. And the last one is manually entering all the data, all nines. So that's if you have new construction, land, something like that. You just click this, it'll populate the all nines for you, and then you're off and running. But for our example, we're going to do fill from tax. So once we click fill from tax, we have to enter one or more of the following. So you see down here, we have a whole list of things that we could fill out. And we kind of say here in tech and in training that less is more. Because if you start putting in the owner's name, you may know the owner's name, but if it's not spelled exactly as it is on the tax record, it won't come up. If there's a hyphen or apostrophe, sometimes the system gets a little funky with apostrophes and things of that nature. So, we kind of say skip that. You could certainly put in the county if you're sure it's in the county. Again, if you're wrong with the county, it's not going to come up. Everything has to kind of be quote unquote perfect. So again, less is more. So right here, I'm going to look for 430 North Street in Milford. So I'm just going to put in 430 and I'm going to put in North. And that's all I'm going to put in. I'm not putting in zip codes. I'm not putting in cities. Now I know it's in Milford, but I just want to demonstrate how less is more here. So I'm going to do 430 North Street and then I'm going to click continue down here at the bottom right. Now you can click continue at the bottom right or the top right, whichever is easier for you. As you get comfortable and familiar with Connect, you'll see that Connect gives you a lot of options to do the same thing multiple ways. You don't have to know them all. You just use whichever works better for you. So whether it's the top or the bottom, you click it. You see the system's doing its tax check, and we have 8 matches for 430 North. Now, right off the bat, 430 North Street in Milford is right there. I put my check mark into it. I need to put the check mark there. This way all the tax information will come over. I click continue and we're off and running. But what I wanted to demonstrate was, let's say you knew it was 430 North. you weren't sure, is it Northwood? Is it two words? Is it North space Wood? This way, by just putting in the very basics, you'll get a lot more information. If I go to the next screen, you have Northfield. Again, was it North space Field? Is it Northfield, all one word? But in our case, this was pretty straightforward. We knew it was 430 north of Milford, so we're off and running. But again, I just want to demonstrate that if you're not quite 100% sure of the spelling, again, is it Northwood? Is it, North Fork? Is it two words, one word? You can just put in the basics and go from there. So, really quick before we move on here, if we were cloning this listing, you'd have a box up here like we do for the tax. So you'd put a check mark next to that. And then down below here, you'd have the listing, the former listing. And you'd put a check mark in that as well. So you want two check marks on a clone, one for the tax, one for the former listing. And then when you click continue, up here on the right, you'll get all the tax information, all the previous information, photos, comments, all that. So I'm going to click continue. And this is our basic setup screen. Now, what we want to talk about here are a few things. As we go through this, we're going to point out and highlight things that we think that is very important and things that we get a lot of phone calls on. So right here, choose activation status. If you click this little drop down here, you have three activation status. I'm going to start from the bottom, from the top. Closed, comparable only. Let's say there's a grandparent and they gift the house to the grandchild, and you want to put it in here for comparable. It's a beautiful home. You think this would be a great comp down the road. You want to put it in the system, comparable only. Coming soon is a true coming soon. It's anywhere, it's kind of a preview, kind of think of coming soon as a preview, anywhere from 1 to 14 days. There's special paperwork that has to be filled out. You can't make it go active before the coming soon date or earlier or later. There's all rules and regulations with coming soon. If you do have a question with the coming soon, pick up the phone, give our compliance team a call. They can walk you through it and go over all the rules and regulations for you. So just pick up the phone, give compliance a call. And that really goes for anything. You're entering the listing, later today, you attended today's class, you get stuck. Don't spend more than a couple minutes on it. Just give us a call. You'll be like, oh, I went in the class. This is really easy. It'll take me a minute. 20 minutes later, now you're frustrated. You got a headache. You wasted 20 minutes. Just pick up the phone, give us a call. Really, I can't emphasize that enough. I know I'm exaggerating about the headaches and whatnot, but you really think, oh, this is quick. It'll take me 2 minutes. And again, 20 minutes, half hour later, you're doing it. We get calls like that all the time. I spent hours on this, 2 hours on it. I spent all day on it. No, don't do that. Just give us a call. And that goes for anything, not just entering a listing. You're working, whatever you're working on in the MLS, a couple minutes in, you get stuck. Pick up the phone, give us a call. Don't hesitate. The wait times are very, very short, usually less than a minute. Depending on when you call, we have 5 to 9 reps on the phones to help you out. So please, just pick up the phone, give us a call. We'll go over all contact information and stuff later, but I just kind of I'm going to harp on that through the training, just so you can, just give us a call. We want to make this learning curve as smooth and easy for you, and just by calling, we'll do that for you. All right, and then lastly is active. So what we get a lot of calls on is you're putting this in the MLS today on April 10th, and it's not going to go active until later today, maybe tomorrow, maybe next week, even next month. You're just getting a head start on it. What a lot of agents do is they put coming soon because it's not on the MLS yet, so it's coming soon because they're working on it. No, whatever you want that to be on the MLS when you're ready to go live on the MLS, if it's going to be active, you choose active now. Even if it's next week, it's next month, you can't make it go active by accident. A lot of agents think that because we're designating it active right now, today on April 4th, that somehow when we save it or what have you, it's going to go active on the MLS. Can't happen. A lot of hoops and things we got to jump through to get that to be active. And I'll demonstrate that as we go along. So just designate it as active, and then your information will be here. I want to demonstrate a few things here before we go on, though. Right here, this little percent sign with tax, that's just showing it came over from the tax record. When we first entered this, I didn't put in a zip code. I didn't put a 4-digit. I didn't even put Milford. It all came over from the tax record. So that's what that little percent sign in tax is there for. You do need a neighborhood. I want to touch base on this too. So let's say you're entering this today for later today, again, tomorrow, next month, whatever it might be. You have to have a neighborhood in there. So let's just say you're not sure. You could put NA to continue and you're all set to go. Or you could put in NA, continue, and then later today, tomorrow, next week, it's in whatever neighborhood it is. You could always come back and edit it. But to start it and move on, you do need a neighborhood, so you can't put NA in there and go on. Even if it goes live later today, let's say this absolutely has to go on MLS today, you put it on the MLS today with NA as neighborhood, you can always go back and edit it. So whether it be, later today, tomorrow, you could always edit the neighborhood, but you do need the neighborhood in there to go ahead. Now we're going to go up to the upper right. Save, draft, and continue. So we're going to save this and continue. And when we do that, this will now be saved as a draft. So right now, if the phone rings and you have to run out for a showing or what have you, you could exit draft. It'll be there for you. I'm going to demonstrate a little later where you can find it, but it's in there for you now. So you can just say, okay, I started it. I got the ball rolling. I'll, I'll pick up with it later. You can validate it. Now, if we validate it, all these boxes that you see on the left-hand side are going to light up red because we didn't enter anything yet. And and you could preview it. We're going to demonstrate. We're going to demonstrate a lot of this when we get to the end, but I just want to go over the menu here and then validate for publishing. This is where you'd put it on the MLS active live ready to go. Now, if I click it right now, just like the regular validate, all these tabs are going to light up red because we haven't entered anything. Now, the difference between validate and validate for publishing is, let's say I'm working in this tab and I'm like, okay, I think I got everything right. You click validate, the tab goes to gray. Awesome, I'm all set. That's it. Save it because you worked hard on it, move on to the next tab. If I click validate for publishing, when this tab enters red, as soon as I go through all the red tabs, when I get to the very end, then it's going to come up and say, do you want to publish this on the MLS? So this validate, kind of look at it as just kind of a checking your work. This validate is checking your work to go live on the MLS. So again, if I click it right now by accident, I'm going to get all red boxes and I have to fix every one before I could go live on the MLS. I could save it. If I click validate for publishing now, which I don't want to do because I don't want to get all the red, but I get all the red here and I get down halfway, I get to utilities and like, okay, I need more information or I got to go to a showing. Just save the draft and you can come back with it. So you can save the draft as many times as you want. It stays saved for 180 days. And that resets. So if you save it right now, it'll be good for 180 days. You come in here on day, 179 and update something, it resets the clock for another 180 days. So you could really start these drafts and leave them in there for you. It's kind of you know, pre-workspace starting there. So that being said, just a couple things I want to show you on here is here, like for listing date, you can click in there and the calendar comes right up. So you can click today's date, or for like the expiration date, you could come here and use the calendar. Click on the calendar and say, okay, it's going to expire at the end of this month. So again, whenever it's faster, easier for you, whether it's physically typing in the numbers, let's say 12, 31, 25. So you can type in the numbers or use the calendar. Again, whatever's faster, easier, quicker for you. And these little question marks, if you see anything in here while you're entering, if you hover on a question mark, it's going to kind of tell you what that column's about. So this is the expiration date of the listing contract. Enter the date manually in the format month, day, year, or use the calendar to select the date. So this is going to go according to your contract. And then if you see here, it says Smart Desk. If you click that, that'll open up another window and that'll lead you to our Smart Desk. Our Smart Desk has over 2,000 articles on everything MLS. Compliance questions, membership questions, definitions, you name it, it's in there. And it's constantly getting updated. Our writer is in-house, so we can literally run to them, and we do, throughout the day and say, hey, could you add this? Could you update this? Could you include that? And it goes right in there and you could have access to it. Those of you who called us, when you call us and say we're going over entering a listing, we're going to send you a link to that Smart Desk database with whatever you call them, whether it be a hot sheet or auto email, whatever it might be. When we wrap up that call, you're going to get a link going step by step with what we went over on the call, and that comes from the Smart Desk. So that's our 24/7 database, 2,000 articles. So that's really what I just want to show you here on this page. Again, like I said, we're gonna skip around. We're gonna skip around and show you different things. Next thing I want to go to is the structure tab. And I want to show you here, if I scroll up a little bit, you can just go to the next tab. So if you're working on this now for the end of the week and you just want to go to the photos or you want to go to the rooms, you could jump around from tab to tab. You don't have to go in order, or you could click next and go through them, or just click on it. Again, whatever is easier and faster for you, that's what we want you to do. But what we want to show you here on this page, if we scroll down, we have attic, yes or no. And there's a bunch of fields in add edit like this, a responsive field, relationship field, whatever you want to call it. So let's just say you have this big, beautiful attic that you really want to tout. You think this is going to be a big selling point. You come here and all it has is attic, yes or no. Click in the box. If you don't have an attic, you're all set. Continue entering your information. But if it does have an attic, as soon as you click yes, whoop, let me get out of there. Let me clear that. As soon as you hit yes, now you get all these new fields pop up. So is it a walk-up attic? Is it a pull downstairs, exterior address? And then you have attic details. So let's say, it's partially finished, it's heated, whatever you need to do. So there's a few fields that are like that, that once you click yes or no, other fields are going to pop up. So if you do have a lot of information on the attic or HOA, we'll demonstrate that in a minute, and you get to that screen and say, hey, where's everything's missing. No, as soon as you click yes, boom, everything will pop up for you. So we'll show you another responsive field as we get going here. Next tab we want to cover is rooms. Big changes here to rooms. So when you fill out the information from the tax, it's going to give you the total number of bedrooms. So this property has 5 bedrooms. So if we come down to room details, we have to have 5 bedrooms. You could put in a living room, a dining room, a study. You need the levels here. You could put in all that information, but you need 5 bedrooms, and one has to be primary. So if it's the bigger room you want to make primary, or it has the big walk-in closet or a bathroom off it, whatever you and your client designate as primary, you do have to have one as primary bedroom. You could put the room length and width, not required, but you could. The room level is required. We have a lot of people that need, say, the primary bedroom on the lower level or main level due to stairs and things of that nature. So that's why we added that. But we have to have 5 bedrooms down here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So technically, we're all set. We're all done here. We do have to put the levels on here, and then we could go ahead and move on. But let's just say we didn't. I'm going to remove this bedroom. There we go. So let's say we come in here and we got 1, 2, 3, 4 bedrooms. We have to have that 5th bedroom. All we have to do is click here to add another room. It pops up. We come in there. We scroll down to bedroom, room level main, and we're all set. So the takeaway from here is you have to have the total number of bedrooms in the room details. So this dwelling has 5, so you have to have 5. Again, you could have a library, dining room, study, whatever you want, but you have to have the number of bedrooms, and one has to be primary. So those are the two main takeaways here. This will prevent you from going active on the MLS. So if I only had 4 bedrooms in here, and when I go for validate for publishing, I'm going to get an error saying that I have to add the bedroom. We get a lot of calls on that. So just make sure your bedrooms in the details match the bedrooms in the property. All right. Another quick little thing we want to show you here is room features. You could have up to 6 max. So you click the drop down. There's quite a list of things that you can add in here. And they're pretty much room centric. A lot of things do overlap, from room to room, obviously, but there's a lot of items in here that you could choose from. And it's not alphabetized. So a good way to kind of speed this process up, if you will, is if you're using a Windows machine, a Windows computer, and you hit the Control F key at the same time. So the Control key is CTRL. It's at the bottom lower left of the keyboard, and F at the same time. This little window pops up here. If you're using a Mac, we know we got a lot of Mac users out there. It's Command F. So Control F on Windows, Command F on a Mac. This little window pops up. This is kind of a universal, computer thing. Nothing new here for Connect, but it pops up, and I can start typing in Palladium window, and you see I didn't even spell it. I just got the PAL, and it got highlighted right there. And then I just put my check. I click OK. Whoop. Let's try that again. Palladium window. Click OK, and there we go. I got my Palladium window in there. And then you could go that. So this is kind of like a little cheat. So if you don't want to go scrolling through it, you can go through and add whatever features. And again, those are room centric for you. So again, a lot of things overlap, but they are room centric. So you have to have the total number of bedrooms in the room details with the level. You could also rearrange the orders. This is something new. We just added to the system not too long ago. So if we click in there, excuse me, I'm battling allergies here. Sorry about that. I'm just going to go on mute here really quick for a second. All right, sorry about that. So you have all your rooms right here, and you can rearrange them. There's 3 ways to do it, and again, whatever way is faster, easier, quicker for you, you just run with it. You say you want this primary bedroom to be the first one because it's got the Palladium windows and whatever it might be. You can just go in the number here, click in the number, and make it override to number 1, and the bedroom will shoot up to number 1. Let's say you look at it and be like, no, I want to keep the primary bedroom with all the bedrooms. You can just use a little drop down arrow, and we drop it all the way down so all the bedrooms are grouped together. So you can use the number, You can use the arrows, or you can drag and drop it. Now, this doesn't look right. You got bedroom, and then you got a primary bedroom. So let's drag and drop that primary bedroom. So the primary bedroom leads the list of the bedrooms. So again, just whatever works faster for you, using the numbers, using the arrows, or just dragging and dropping it. So whichever way works the best for you, take it and run with it. You don't have to worry about the other methods. But do have to click save here in the upper left there. It'll save the changes, and then when we come down here, it should be exactly as we want it. So that is pretty much it with the Rooms tab. I want to go to the Association Information tab here. And what I want to show you here is in about the middle, if you scroll down the middle, there is our showing time. So you click on that, that takes you right to showing time. It's just like the showing time you know and love and been using all these years. Nothing changed, but they just kind of put that link kind of in the middle here. It makes sense. It's with the showing instructions, your lockbox, all your information. So it's right in the middle of the page. But a lot of people miss it. So we kind of want to show it here in the training class. Actually, I want to go in the association info. I missed that one. This is another one of those relationship fields that I kind of mentioned earlier. HOA, yes or no. So let's say you have a whole list of things. You have the pricing and all these great features. You want to tout about it. You don't see it. Not a big deal. Click in there, click no. If you don't have one, you're all set. Go to your next tab. But if you do click yes, all of a sudden all these fields just pop up. So you can go ahead and put your fee amount, any special association assessments, what the fee includes. You can have up to 9. So you can really go in here and dig deep. So that's just another example of one of those relationship fields where once you click into it, you'll get all the additional information you need. So like I said, there's about 4 or 5 of them throughout here. So we just want to demonstrate a couple so you get a little comfortable with it, because HOA we know is a big one there. All right, we're going to move on to virtual tours and photographers. So this is where you're going to upload all your photos. First your virtual tour. So just like before, you copy and paste the whole URL and plop it in here, and you'll be all set there. Photography information, photography taken by. For our example, we'll just say self. We'll click OK, and then we go to manage photos. So this is where we're going to upload the photos. So you have up to 40 photos again here in Connect. You're going to click on manage photos, and that's going to take you to the choose file to upload. I kind of call it the upload screen. You'll click that. It's going to open up a window to where you have all the photos. Really quick, before I move on here, if you get the photos from a professional photographer and they're in Dropbox, they have to be out of Dropbox. You cannot upload them directly from Dropbox. So you'd have to move them onto your computer or your tablet, what have you. You'd have to move them out of Dropbox before you can upload them to Connect. That was the same before, same now. Also, zip files. If they're zipped, you have to unzip them before you can upload them to Connect. So we get a lot of calls on that. So just kind of keep that in the back of your mind. Unzip them or get them out of Dropbox or whatever the new program is that the photographers are using these days. It has to be out of those websites and things before you can upload them. So I'm just going to upload that. Hold on here. I didn't grab photos. All right. So I just grabbed 3 photos to demonstrate here our photo page. And a couple things here. I only uploaded 3, but if you're uploading, 20, 30, 40 photos, the system defaults to list view right here in the middle. I recommend that you go to the grid view. If you click the grid view, I think it's a lot easier. Again, I only have 3, but if you have, 20, 30 photos, it's a lot easier to look at the photos, see their order in, work with them. So again, that's grid view right here, kind of in the middle left-hand side of the screen. All right. So now I got my 3 photos here, and I think I want to lead with the front photo of the home. So to move that, just like we did the rooms, I can click on it with my mouse, hold it, and drag it over to number 1. Maybe I want my kitchen here to be number 2. I can click in that box and just type number 2 and click enter, and it moved over. Or I can use the arrow. Maybe I want that bathroom to be photo number 2. So again, you can type in the number, you can use the arrows, or you can drag and drop. Again, whatever is easier, faster, and quicker for you, that's the way you do it. Don't worry about the other ways. All right. A couple other things here. You can delete the photo. Maybe you don't want the photo, and get the photo out of there. We have an edit, so you can still edit the photos. So even if you have a professional photographer who did it, or the homeowner, maybe you took it yourself, you can still edit it. And what I like to demonstrate on here is, okay, let's say I took this photo. I'm looking at it here on the computer. I'm like, I really don't like this light post. I think this light post, takes away from the front of the home. I can just click Move Scale right here on the left-hand side, and a little box pops up down here, and I'm just going to slide it. And basically what it's doing is just zooming up on the house. And by zooming up on the house, I cut that little light post out. So now I get a bigger photo of the front of the home, which is always great. And I cut that light post out. And then all I have to do is click save. And you see right there, I got the photo without the light post. So you can do that. Maybe there's a little bit of laundry in the corner. You want to get that out. Or maybe there's a picture frame with, the family on it that you kind of, it's a little bit visible in the, in the very corner of a photo. You want to kind of crop that out. You can go ahead and do that. But just want to show you that there's some tools there to edit it. So when you do get the photo, you're not kind of quote unquote stuck with that particular photo. All right. Other thing you can do here is add details. You see it's nice and bold there. So if we click on that, this is also where you can click virtually staged. So if this one particular photo is virtually staged, you could click it and then move on to your captions and things. If they're all virtually staged, you come up here at the top and click virtually staged and they'll all be done. So this way, if you have, 20, 30 photos, you don't have to go into all 20, 30 photos and click virtually staged. Just one button clicks them all. So for title here, we're going to go to front of home, front yard, and let's just say new sidewalk just to have some comments in there. Click submit, and you'll notice I now get edit details. It's not bold. Where add details in bold means I have to add it. So edit my comments, I have to add comments. So that's how you can tell maybe if you missed one, you take a quick glance and check them out. Now, once you're all set with all the photos, you can preview them. And to do that, you just click on any one, and it comes up kind of here in the middle of the screen. And you see down here, I have front yard sidewalk. I like the photo. I eliminated that light pole there. It looks great. To move on to the next photos, if I put my cursor in there, you see I get a little arrow, or I get a little arrow, so I could just go to the next one. Here's my bedroom. I missed it. I want to add a caption on there. I go to my next one. I go to my kitchen. Okay, I didn't add a caption. So again, you get a little preview here. If you're all set with the preview, just come up here to the top, close preview. That'll close that out. And you just click Save Changes over here to the very far left. Click Save Changes. And you'll see it's saving here. Now, if you upload 40 photos and make 40 comments, this process could take a while. Depending on your computer, your laptop, your internet connection, it could take a while. So, if you have 40 photos and you did 10 comments, you might want to click Save, do the next, 10, 20, 10, 20 photos, then click save. This way I kind of speed it up and make it a little easier for you. Because if you do 40 photos and 40 comments and maybe a couple edits or what have you, it could take some time. And we do get a lot of calls where the person's waiting, waiting, waiting. They get us on the phone. We start talking to them like, oh, it went. Because it took about 5, 6 minutes to, upload just because it's 40 photos, a lot of data getting uploaded and changed and saved there. So just kind of keep that in the back of your mind. Once we save it, it throws us back out here to our virtual tour and photography page. And you see here, we could preview them. Now, we're not going to get a bigger photo. We're not going to get the comments, but you can at least see them and say, okay, they're in the order I want. I have all my photos there. I'm good to go. Then the last tab we're going to go over is documents. That's right here. I'm just going to demonstrate. I could go next, and it'll take me right to my documents page. So again, you can click on these or use the arrows, next, previous, whatever works for you. Just going to click add documents, kind of like we did with the photos. And the upload screen comes up. Step 1, specify which document to add. So I'm going to click on that. It's going to take me to my computer. I'm going to grab this one just to say it's a coming soon. Step 2, select the document type. So it's document type public disclosure. Well, coming soon is not a public disclosure. So I'm going to click the little drop down here. I'm going to come all the way down here, slide it all the way down to private documents, and private coming soon is there. I click on that. Step 3, choose the viewing restrictions. 99.9999% of the time, this is going to default to exactly what you need it to be. Connect, as we mentioned, kind of gives you a lot of options to do things that, in case something comes up, some oddball scenario or a temporary scenario, you can assign other people to be able to see this document. But again, 99.9% of the time, you're just going to come down here to step 4, click here to add it. And there you go. You got your private coming soon. You got the lock there. If you hover on it, it tells you, who can see this and it's private, the size of the file, the type, who uploaded it, and date and time. And we'll just do one more just to demonstrate. So I'll go back to add my document. Step one, choose my document. I'm going to choose a floor plan, document type. Again, it just defaults to public disclosure. So you just click the drop down. We scroll down here to additional public documents, floor plan. And then right in here too, you could type in here. So let's just say these are floor plans. We want to put 410 in there because they're going to be working on the house and we want to compare the floor plan, or you could put a, basement floor plan, and then we're going to upload the attic floor plan. You want to upload the main level floor plan, whatever. You can type in, you can put the family's name in there. Again, just another option to make it a little easier for you. Again, you're choosing your viewing restrictions again 99.999% of the time. That's going to default to exactly how you need it. And then you just click add here in step 4. And there you go. There's our floor plan with the basement. It's unlocked because the lock is open. You could hover on it and just to double check everything. Again, the document size, it's a PDF, who did it, date and time. So those are pretty much the highlights that we wanted to go through in entering it. We're going to validate one for publishing, not this one because we didn't click everything. I'm going to demonstrate that, but we are going to validate one for publishing here in a second. All right. So before we do that, we have a couple things here we want to mention. We have a generate a listing sheet here. And I don't think this comes up on Zoom, so I apologize. But what it is, it's just the single family residential for sale data input form. And you could download it, you could print it, you could email it, and this populates as you go along. So if you just did the tax record, it's just going to have the tax information on it. But as you enter the listing, it's going to populate everything. So you can get to the end and say, okay, I think I dotted the I's, I think I crossed the T's. I'm going to sit here I'm going to send this to my client or sit with them, and we're going to go over and see if there's anything I missed or anything else that they think would really help sell this home. You can go over this list with them. And then you could certainly go back and, add whatever you'd like to add on it. So that's generate a listing sheet. If you think this is great, ready to go on the MLS, you could share this draft with your seller. You just email it right to them. They'll see all the photos. They'll see everything that you entered. And you can also preview it as well if you click the preview button. So if you click preview, it'll come up. And again, this is very basic. We have the one shot of the front of the home, 5 bedrooms, 2 baths, all the usual information from the tax record. So we got our Palladium windows and everything that came up from the tax. So you can preview it. You can print this and hand it to your client. You can also save it as a PDF and email it to them from your company email. So if you have a company tagline or, personal motto, you want to send them the email that way, you can do that. You could also save it in a file. So you have all the files saved that you sent them. You got all the floor plans and previews and all that good stuff. All right. So now I talked about in the beginning that you can't make this go active by accident. So if I click over here and click validate for publishing, you're going to see all these tabs are red. So all these tabs have to be fixed before it could go live on the MLS. So I have to go through every tab. And then when I get to the final tab, then I can go validate for publishing. There's still another button I have to hit. All right. And I'm going to demonstrate in that minute because we're not going to waste time going through all these tabs, but I'm going to save this draft. All right. And I mentioned as well that where do you get the draft? So you save the draft, you go on a showing, you come back, you want to pick up and finish this off. You come up to add edit, our friend here again on the upper left of the blue menu bar. Come all the way down here to view manage my listings and transactions. Click on that. Now it's going to default to what you use mostly. So I'm in testing databases, so it's going to default to my draft/partial listings. But let's just say it's probably for you guys, it's going to default to all active and pending. So this is all your active listings that are on the MLS right now, but you want to work with that draft. So you just click that drop down arrow, come down to draft. And then here's the one that we just put in here, right here. And then we just click edit. We're back into our familiar screen. We think we're all ready to go here. We're going to click validate for publishing. And boom, it comes up with please confirm the accuracy of the listing. So it kind of gives you a little recap of what we're doing here. It'll say here, congratulations, your listing has passed all the MS rules and has been saved as a draft. To assign the listing number, click publish listing. So I just click, put a check here that I reviewed all the information for accuracy. And now I click publish listing right over here. So that's the second check. So again, even if I clicked it by accident and I'm like, oh, I'm not ready yet. I want more photos or what have you. I can go right back to the listing and add whatever I want to do, edit whatever I want to do. Or if I'm all set, ready to go, click publish listing and it comes up. Your listing has been successfully added. There's your MLS number. Again, that TRN number is I'm in a training database, so that's why you get a TRN. But our numbers are starting with 24 now, so it'll be 24, whatever it is. And then you can jump right in here. You can configure showing time. You create a flyer, upload some photos, uh, add a tour open house right here. So this is after it goes live. So what I want to do now is we're going to edit this. So let's say it goes live. You're happy with it. It's on the MLS. It's getting some traction. Everything's going great, but you want to make some edits. And to do that, we're going to do that next. All right. So to do that, we're going to go back up to our friend add edit like we did before. We're going to go to view, manage my listings and transactions. It defaults again to draft partial listings because that's where I work in all the time. But I'm going to click that drop down and go to active and pending. And I'm going to come right down here to our 430 North Street that we were working on in Milford. And I'm going to click the little pencil here on the far right. And I'll get this window come up. And it recaps it 430 North Street. There's my MLS number. It's single family. I like this because a lot of times you can list a home for, say single family, multifamily, or rental and for sale. So this way it's kind of confirming. So I may have 430 North Street in the system twice, but this is the single family one. So this is the one I want to edit. You'd come in here to edit listing status. It's currently active. You just click the drop down, make it under contract, let's say, and then you have all the little asterisks that need to be taken care of, and you can move it under contract. So it's as simple as that. You can also edit the listing price. So you come in here, it's showing you that, it's a price change. These are all the different price areas. There's only one thing to change. You come down here, change it to 120, click save, and we just changed 430 North Street to 120. All right. Uh, change to activate offers under review, yes or no. You just click in there and click in the box. It's a simple yes or no. You click yes, click save. It's now under review. Same thing with no. You want to take it off? No. Hubbard clause on and off, same thing. Click yes or no. Edit listing details. A lot of agents like to go in here. If you click in here, this is back to our familiar screen. So let's say you want to just work in here. This is just easier for you. You're more comfortable with it. You're going to edit some photos. You're going to change your remarks. You maybe want to add another floor plan. Boom. You can do it all right from here if you'd like. Not a problem. I'll just go back in here. Extend the listing. Extend the listing expiration date. So if you have the paperwork, you could come in here yourself and extend it out farther. So hypothetically, let's say this listing is going to go to, January of 2026. As long as you have the paperwork, you can go ahead and do it yourself. If you're going to move it back, say you're going to end this in November or what have you, you still need paperwork, but we could do it for you here at the MLS. So just give us a call and say, hey, my single family, 24000. I need to move that down. I uploaded the paperwork. So we'll verify that the paperwork is in there, and then we can move it back for you. You can move it ahead with the paperwork. We can move it back with the paperwork. So either way, you need the paperwork, but it can be done. I'm going to go back in here for you. You can reposition on the map. Hopefully, you will never have to come into that. I'll show you really quick. Sometimes you'll come in here, and the map will have the house like, say over here. You just kind of click it with your mouse, drag and drop it over here. You could also put the longitude and latitude in. I haven't played with that yet. I think dragging and dropping it is just a little simpler. And then click Save Changes, and you're all set. Again, that was very rare. That happened once in a great while. So hopefully you won't have that happen to you. But if you do, it's there. And again, if you have any questions on any of these, pick up the phone, give us a call. We'll position it for you on the map. We'll bring up Google Maps, and we'll verify everything and move it for you. But you could do it yourself. just like editing photos. So I only had 3 photos on this. You want to go in there and add, another 10, 20 photos, go right ahead, add your tour, not a problem. Edit our tour and open house. So let's add an open house here. So you have an open house here. We're going to click the plus sign, just like we did with the bedrooms, just like we did with the documents. We're going to click the little plus sign and it comes up right here. What type of open house is it? Open house or a broker tour? Well, we're going to do an open house. You can type in here the date, or you can click on the calendar and go, all right, we're going to do it on Saturday the 13th. We're not going to live stream it. The start time, we're going to do at 1 o'clock. It defaults the AM, so it kind of gives you a warning here, outside normal business hours. So unless you're showing this to a vampire, just keep that in your mind. Change it to PM to 2 p.m. Are you going to have lunch? No. Are you going to have refreshments? No. Click save. It comes up over here on the right. Your open house has been saved. You got it right here. 4:13 from 1 to 2 p.m. Open house. It's a repeat because it's a trained database and I've done it a couple times. It's going to say repeat. It could say first time, if it's the first time you have an open house. No lunch, no refreshments. It's in person. It's active. And then we could always go in here and edit it. Maybe we want to make it 1 to 3 or cancel it altogether. House sold. We don't need it. We could go ahead and cancel it outright. Down below, here, you could put in comments. So let's just say they, must take shoes off before entering the house. Maybe they want you to still wear a mask. Anything in there you could put in there. Uh, put in any comments in there and just hit save, and you're good to go. And that is pretty much it that we want to show you here on editing. It's pretty straightforward. You can we did the open house manager document. So again, you want to upload another floor plan, you can go right from here. You can configure showing time. You can assign your super key boxes from here as well. And that's pretty much it for editing. It's pretty straightforward. You could also do some editing up here on the add edit. If you hover on there, you can edit the listing status. So let's just say the MLS number. You can click in there. You got to put the MLS number in there. I have a couple written down here, so I could just go right in. It's currently withdrawn. I could bring it back on market or what have you. So again, anything up here you can do. Listing status, you could do the listing price, edit the listing details. That's that main page. You can add the tour open house, extend the expiration date, edit the photos. So again, whatever is easier and faster for you. You can just come up here in the menu. This, you really have to know the MLS number, but let's say you don't. You come in here and you don't know what the MLS number is. You could just click view, manage my listings and transactions. And that takes you right into where we were before. And then really, you can copy and paste the MLS number. Again, that TRN is because we're in training. Or you can just come right over to edit the pencil and jump in that way. So again, whatever's easier and faster, not trying to confuse you or make things crazier for you, just trying to show you there's multiple options to do the same thing. And if you get stuck at any one of these during the process, again, give us a call. And to give us a call, I'm going to come out here. So we're pretty much done. Again, I thank you for your time. I know we kind of threw a lot at you here in 45 minutes, but we have some videos on this, which I'm going to get into, but really just give us a call when you start to do this. We'll happily walk you through it. And to do that, up here on the far right is help. If you don't see the help here in the blue menu bar on the far right, because you're on a tablet or a laptop, it's kind of cutting off. If you click the more button with the 3 tabs, that'll show any of the tabs that you're missing will be there. But if you click on help, contact Smart MLS, it comes right up here with our hours. We're here Monday through Thursday, 8:30 to 7. We're here Fridays, 8:30 to 6 tomorrow. And we're here both weekends, 9 to 3, Saturday and Sunday. So if you're showing a house and you got a key box question, call us on Saturday, Sunday. Whatever, we have some type of emergency situation going on, give us a call on the weekends. We're here. You could always email us at support@smartmls.com. I recommend, as someone who answers the emails, put as much detail in there as you can. Give us the MLS number. Tell us what's going on. It saves the time. Saves a lot of time because if we're not sure, we're going to email back to you, and then if you're out doing a showing, you may not see that email for 2-3 hours later, and your client might be going crazy because their photos are upside down or something like that. But if you put in there MLS 2400, the third photo is upside down, send it to us at 10 o'clock Sunday night. We get in Monday morning at 8:30. We fix that photo. We send it back to you. It's all set. You walk in the office at 11 after doing a couple showings. You just see our email. Your photos are all set. It's great. You're good. Let's back that up. You send us an email. Oh, my photos are upside down. Fix them. Boom, send it to us. We don't know which one, what's the MLS number, which photos. We send you back clarification. Now you walk in 11 o'clock. You got 14 voicemails and 15 emails from your client. They're upset that the photos are upside down. Why aren't they fixed? It's 11 o'clock. All you got to do is shoot us that little quick email and we'll fix that for you. And the cost, 203-750-6000. Just give us a call. Now, I'm sure you found this training class on our calendar. So I'm going to tout the calendar again here. We're getting ready to put May in here. So if you come under tools, either on the right hand side of the blue menu bar, if you don't see tools, you get it in the more, or you have the widget, you come down here to Smart MLS Learning Resources. You see our calendar here. We're going to be putting May in there pretty shortly. We got a couple new classes for May. So definitely check that out when you get a chance. We have short little videos. So if you click in here, this class is reduced from 45 minutes to 6. So again, it's just a quick little I don't want to say overview. That's really not fair, but
To begin, we'll go back
it
to the
just
listing
definitely
tab
goes over
to enter a parcel
a lot of
number
the things that we
and
covered
or
here.
basic list.
Again, in a little bite-sized chunk,
Tag
if you
description.
will. So that's our video tutorials. And then the smart desk I mentioned before with the articles. So again, you call us up. We will send you an article on why you called us. So you can have it and be an expert on it. Or you could always check this, again, 24/7, over 2,000 articles on there. And that's pretty much it, what I have for you guys today. We're out a little bit early here, so get a couple minutes back of your day there. So we appreciate you coming in and signing up here for us. Again, the takeaway is give us a call as soon as you have a question. Just give us a call. We'll happily, um, help you out, walk you through it. Hold your hand. Whatever style works for you. Whether it be a Zoom like this, a pre-recorded video, call on us. Let us know how we can help. We're happy to do so. If you have any questions, please put in the chat. I'll stick around and answer them. If not, you have a great rest of your day, and thank you for attending.